What's going on, Berserk fam? It's your man Sleven. You see the title and the thumbnail, so I don't think we need any intro into what we're going to be discussing. As we all know, the next and possibly final chapter of Berserk will be in our hands on September 10th. We got that news last weekend, and now as of August 11th, we got a preview ad from Young Animal Comics showcasing a few panels from the upcoming chapter 364. Now, as a fair warning, I am going to be going over the panels, which may spoil things for readers who wish to go into the chapter fresh. Now, my first initial reaction to this was me thinking back to my video giving my thoughts and worries of the news dropping of 364 coming as somewhat of a money grab. If I'm not mistaken, when Media was alive, he never gave previews of his upcoming chapters that haven't been released yet. I could be wrong, but I don't believe this is a thing he did or allowed publishers or even Young Animal to do. So again, this is a bit alarming for me here. Why not allow the anticipation for the next chapter to build to the max, instead of giving away crucial images from one of the most anticipated chapters in the series? Especially since this may be the last chapter that the creator of the series personally worked on. Again, this is giving me weird vibes about how they are moving with the man's property. But let's move on. So onto what's on the ad. Let's take a look and try to dissect what is happening in these shots. Going in the order of left to right, up to down, the first panel is very interesting. In it, we have two separate panels showcasing the same scene. It reveals a shirtless Guts caressing the head of the Moonchild wrapped in a black cloak, which I presume belongs to Guts, because as we remember from the end of the previous chapter, the Moonchild was nude when he came to see Guts. In the second shot is a visual of Casca holding and embracing the Moonchild. It also looks like she recognizes who he is and is filled with tearful joy. The third screenshot seems to be a different interpretation of when the child appears before Guts at the end of chapter 363. The next shot in the middle shows the child riding on Guts' shoulders and pulling on his hair. Guts doesn't seem to be very happy about this playful banter. Next shot is of Guts sitting on the steps of the house that Casca was being kept in, and looking up and seems to be having a conversation with Danan. This is probably taking place when the Moonchild is with Casca, and since Casca can't be in Guts' presence without having a nervous breakdown, he is keeping his distance so they both can enjoy each other's company. In the same screenshot at the bottom, we see hair flailing in the wind. This likely belongs to the child since Casca's hair is back to being short. Next shot, we see what looks like branches or hair waving in front of Guts, who is standing armored and in shock. In the background looks to be Casca in her jammies coming out to see what Guts is witnessing. This could possibly be the beginning of the chapter where the child makes his presence known because Guts is still fully dressed in armor, or later in the chapter as the Moonchild leaves or reveals himself to be Griffith because the hair seems to be changing in hue from black to silverish white. Last screenshot is of the Black Swordsman party. They seem to be gathering around but divided into two camps. One comprising of the females, Casca, Shirke, Farnese, Evalira, and Isma embracing and showering the Moonchild. The other camp comprises of Isidro, Puck, and one other figure who seems to be blocked by the Japanese font. I presume this might be Serpico or maybe Roderick, who are sitting around a campfire and looks like they're cooking a dead animal. It also looks like Isidro is naked too. My presumption is this is taking place the same time as the fifth screenshot where Guts is sitting and talking to Danan. These are interesting. It looks like my prediction from my previous review of chapter 363 might be on point. It looks like Guts has finally accepted the company of the child and maybe recognizes that this is his son or the demon child that Casca birthed prematurely. My theory is that he has come to Elfhelm because he senses the rift between Guts and Casca and has come in a way to heal the drift between his parents. And with the bottom left shot, looks like he will be revealing himself as Griffith to them both. The question I have is this the will of Griffith, or is there a mutual agreement between the child and Griffith? If so, is Griffith using the Moonchild to manipulate Casca and Guts, or is he allowing their child's consciousness to take form and using the World Tree to travel in his form so he can get past the barrier and defenses of Elfhelm to potentially end their threat to his plans? If memory serves correct, Flora posed a threat to Griffith's rule, and that is why he sent apostles to attack her forest, right? So if he perceived a past her prime flora as a threat, then beings like Danan, Gedfrin, and Volvapa serve as the even bigger threats. Oh man, this is getting very interesting, and I can't wait for September 10th to read the translated version in full. What do you guys think of these previews, and what are your theories? Do you think the story will be continued after 364 without media? Will this be the end of Berserk? Is young Animal capitalizing on his death? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. As always, if you enjoyed the video and other content similar to this on the channel, drop a like for your boy, man. Subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay tuned for future content when dropped. It really helps the channel grow and informs me on what kind of content you'd like for me to continue making. I'll be dropping a new Berserk based video that I know for sure will spark conversation and will be enjoyed in a few days. So stay tuned. You know the vibes. It's Kaizoku Sleven. Appreciate you.